think it was fake, and if it wasn't fake, it was certainly not the most masculine move. I'll put it that way, so I don't offend anybody.
We're here to not offend people.
You're right. That was a feminine ass move, especially coming from a guy. That said, you might need 2 shots. So y'all get ready. Comments, y'all get ready to sound off on this. As far as I know, the story goes, the man flew the girl out to LA, I believe it was. And, I think she stayed for maybe a day or so, something like that. But it came time where he wanted to clap cheeks. Let's call it what it is. He wanted to clap cheeks, and and she was like, or no. So she said, or no, and he said, all right, say less. You gonna have to figure out your own way back to wherever you came here from. You gonna have to get your own flight. It's canceled. It's a wrap. You figure it out. Fair or foul, Kev?
Very glad to be in the building. As you see, I had to, not that I couldn't see y'all, but I just wanted to see y'all better. Now I'm gonna call it foul. And Trey, if we can begin by agreeing that we don't. Well, let's have 2 agreements here. One, I believe that this whole thing was staged.
Absolutely.
We're in the age of social media where N-words are going to do anything for clicks and views. So I feel like, first of all, this whole thing is staged, but it's a scenario that we can discuss. Because if I'm a dude who expected to get some and didn't get any, I'm not recording me putting you out for not giving me any. Like that makes me look bad. So we're gonna call it fake. All right, that's our first agreement. Second agreement, we don't know every detail to this story. Can we agree on
all of this is speculation.
Okay, so
speculation.
All right, so from there we got to make some assumptions. So I'm gonna call it foul, and the reason is because if the guy flew her out, then anything short of her disrespecting him, which I don't believe her saying no to sex is disrespect, then he should have taken care of her from that point. Sex is not the end all be all of every get together or get interaction between a man and a woman. So not having sex does not mean kick her out your place. Now I will say, if she talked her way into the flight by saying, hey, I'm gonna come there and put it on you, and then was like, no, he's well within his rights, which she can change her mind at any time. However, if that's the way you found your way in, then I am going to put you out. But if she, if they just agreed to get together and he volunteered to pay, which I have seen, dudes will slide in your DMs real quick and talk the greatest of talks. Oh, baby, I just want to take you shopping. I just, why don't you come to the club, bottles on me, drinks on me, come over to the crib. I'll fly you out to Cabo and Tulum and Paris. And they talk a good game if they got the money for it and have these expectations, but they're trying to lead with their money. So I'm gonna call them foul.
Disagree with that necessarily.
Okay.
All right. However, because I like starting riots, I'm gonna say it's fair. All right. And here's why. You kind of hinted at it. Now, again, we don't know the details. I'm speculating. All right. Okay. Maybe even projecting a little bit based on how I would treat the situation. All right. Okay. Let's get that out the way. Now, I say fair because I find it hard to believe that a man would fly you out and not have had the conversation. I find it hard to believe that conversation would not have taken place. Now, let me also be very clear. If there was no conversation prior to, if there was no, I'm going to rock the sheets and clap the cheeks. If there was nothing like that, no conversation like that, then all of this is out the window. It's foul. And I'm going to assume that they had a conversation, and because of said conversation, there was an expectation. If there's an expectation of this, and you say no, you can say no. You can say no, ain't nobody mad. But I mean, you got to find your own way home. I think that's fair. You got to find your own way home. So based on that, I'm gonna say fair-ish. Caveat being because there is a possibility that he just assumed that she understood the assignment, so to speak.
And I think that is where the disconnect happens. I think, like, and as we constantly talk about communication, between man and woman, I think this is one of those places where it breaks down. Just because there is an energy, and I think Tasha said in the comments, like if there was a real connection forming, that possibility is there. So if the connection is forming, if I'm like, the man could have developed feelings faster than her. And of course, like, when we get to developing feelings, like that thing becomes physical probably faster than it becomes emotional. He probably was looking to take that thing to the next level in that way. Mm-hmm. She may have been developing feelings, but if they're away from each other, like, I want to come and spend some time with you to see if like the conversations line up with who you actually are in person.
Sure.
So that's where a disconnect then happens, because for what it's worth, they're both looking for the same thing, to build on what was happening apart. But I want to build on it physically, while I want to build on it, with quality time and, possibly, cuddling. Who's to say she didn't, kiss him or, whatever. But like, sex may not be like the first thing on her mind. I doubt it was. Because she's feeling him, that means she's willing to have sex. So like that, especially because y'all are coming together from a distance, that has to be an explicit conversation. And I guess for me, the foulest part is that he recorded the dismissal. Like, it'd be one thing, like, if we found this on Twitter as just a rant that was had after all of this took place. Hey, let me tell you all about this girl who blah, 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 and Twitter fingers like got real gangster. Like, then, I could kind of look at it a little different. But if you're literally pulling up to the airport with your phone in her face, like, oh yeah, you wasn't about to give me no pussy, so you gotta like get out my whip. Oh yeah, and I canceled your flight. Like, that's an ego thing. And that's why I think it's on the foul side.
And that's all the more reason why, I think it was fake. And if it wasn't fake, it was certainly, not the most masculine move. I'll put it that way so I don't offend anybody.
But we're here to not offend people.
You're right. That was a feminine ass move, especially coming from a guy. Straight up. That's a feminine ass move. They probably had a conversation. They were probably trying to get to know each other. And the intent maybe was the same, right? So, she probably wanted to get to know him as a person, and maybe he wanted to get to know her, inside her person's that part. It's possible that he felt he capitulated to her, and therefore, I don't want to say entitled, but felt entitled.
It's the only word sitting
cheeks. That is the only word, because that's what it is for real. I didn't want to say entitled, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
He felt entitled to some cheeks because he capitulated to what she wanted.
And I think that's what we see all too often. I feel like every quarter we argue about the $200 date. And so people, feel like if I spend a certain amount of money, it's a group of niggas, that's what we're gonna call them, that feel like if I spend a certain amount of money, that then entitles me to a piece of ass. And like, that's like, those things are not like, there's not a correlation between the two. Like, you could in theory have a free date. I'm gonna pick you up, we can go to the park, we can walk, sit and talk, I'll push you in the swings. It's the cutest thing we've ever seen. And then you could go home and clap them cheeks, and that costs you nothing. Or you could, but
that might not get her attention though.
It might not, but it might, because it might be a different approach than, let me just take you to dinner and a movie, because that's so traditional. So to just like put me in nature, it's peaceful, it's serene, we can see some things, like even if you take me to a place that I've never been before. So tell me about this park. What do you know? Like, have you learned some history about it? What can you teach me while we're there? That looks different. So that could be a turn on for a woman, because you showed her something new, and you could clap them cheeks because of that experience, and it cost you nothing. And we've also seen, let's pop bottles in the club, come in the section, I got hookah, I got whatever. Now at the end of the night, I got a $2,000 tab, so I'm expecting to, and it don't end like that. and there's disappointment there. So like your money does not guarantee you that you're going, you know what I'm saying, lay the pipe at the end of the night.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Because we love y'all. And we'll see y'all same time, same place next week. But until then, cheers to the weekend.
Hey man, can we get one more? Can we get one more drink up? One more drink up. I just drink it all. You drink all? That's why you my brother. All right. Because that's what we do, baby. Up to it, down to it. F those what don't do it. We do it. Nothing you do it. So drink. Drink.